In India, many of us grow up believing that saying yes is a sign of respect. We are taught to help, to adjust, to sacrifice, to never disappoint others. But have you ever felt exhausted, not because of hard work, but because you can never say no? Have you ever agreed to something while your heart felt heavy? Have you ever cancelled your own plans just to avoid hurting someone's feelings? At first, it feels noble. You feel needed, appreciated, important, but slowly, something changes. Your time disappears. Your peace fades. Your own goals remain unfinished while you are busy solving everyone else's problems, and one day, you look at your life and realize, you are always available for others, but never available for yourself. This is not a story about becoming selfish. It is a story about protecting your energy, about understanding that constant yes can quietly destroy your future. If you see yourself in these words, stay with me, because sometimes, the smallest word, no, can rebuild your confidence, your boundaries, and your life. Follow NT, motivational story for powerful lessons that help you grow stronger without losing your kindness. Arjun lived in a modest neighborhood in Jaipur, where houses stood close and people knew each other's routines. In that community, he was known as the most dependable man on the street. If someone needed help carrying groceries up 3 flights of stairs, they called Arjun. If a scooter broke down in the middle of the road, Arjun would push it to the mechanic. If a neighbor needed someone to sit at the hospital overnight, Arjun never refused. He believed this made him valuable. Every thank you felt like proof that he was a good person. Every smile felt like a reward, but there was a hidden cost. His small tailoring shop, which he had once dreamed of expanding, remained half-painted and poorly organized. Orders were delayed because he was often out helping others. He skipped meals. He slept late. He ignored his own headaches and back pain. When his younger sister asked why he looked constantly tired, he brushed it off with a laugh. "It's nothing," he said. "People need me." What he didn't say was this: he was afraid. Afraid that if he stopped saying yes, people would stop calling. Afraid that if he refused, he would seem selfish. Afraid that his worth existed only in service to others. Weeks turned into months. Arjun's savings barely grew. His personal goals stayed frozen. Yet his phone kept ringing with new requests. One evening, after spending hours fixing a neighbor's broken cupboard, he returned home to see unpaid bills on his own table. The irony was sharp. He was building everyone else's stability while neglecting his own foundation. For the first time, a quiet question entered his mind. Am I truly kind? Or am I just afraid to disappoint? The turning point came during monsoon season. Dark clouds gathered over Jaipur, and heavy rain began pouring without warning. Streets flooded within minutes. People rushed to secure their homes, pulling clothes from balconies and moving furniture inside. Arjun's phone rang again. It was his neighbor. "Samir." "Arjun. Please come quickly. Water is entering my shop. I can't lift everything alone." Without thinking, Arjun grabbed his raincoat and ran. For hours, he helped move boxes, stacked supplies, and blocked the entrance with sandbags. He worked until his clothes were soaked and his hands trembled from exhaustion. Samir kept saying, "Thank you, brother. I don't know what I'd do without you." Those words felt familiar, comforting. But when Arjun finally returned home late that night, his heart sank. Rainwater had leaked through the cracked window of his tailoring shop. Fabric rolls were wet. One sewing machine was damaged. The small savings he had invested in new materials were ruined. He stood there in silence, staring at the mess. No one had called to check on him. No one had come to help. For the first time, gratitude from others felt empty. He realized something painful: being needed is not the same as being valued. The next morning, tired and confused, Arjun visited an elderly retired teacher in the neighborhood. "Mr. Mehta." After listening quietly, the old man said, "When a river overflows its banks, it doesn't become generous. it becomes destructive. Arjun listened carefully. Kindness without boundaries. Mr. Mehta continued. Will drown you before it saves anyone else. That sentence stayed with him. If this moment speaks to you, don't ignore it. Follow NT, motivational story for powerful lessons that help you grow strong without losing your heart. Mr. Mehta did not offer sympathy. He offered clarity. Arjun, he said calmly, you think saying yes makes you kind. But real kindness includes responsibility, especially toward yourself. Arjun sat quietly, absorbing every word. The old teacher continued. For the next 7 days, do something difficult. When someone asks for help, do not answer immediately. Pause. Ask yourself 3 questions. Will this cost my time? Will this damage my peace? Will this delay my own responsibilities? If the answer is yes, then respond with respect, but say, not today. The idea felt uncomfortable. Arjun had built his identity around being available. Who would he be if he stopped? The very next afternoon, the test arrived. A neighbor knocked on his door asking for help assembling new furniture. Arjun looked at the unfinished repairs in his own shop. His instinct was automatic, say yes, but he paused. He took a breath and replied gently, I'm sorry. I need to finish my own work today. I can help another time. The neighbor looked surprised, slightly disappointed. Then he left. Arjun closed the door and felt a wave of guilt rise inside him. His heart beat faster than usual. For years, he had avoided this feeling, yet instead of running after the neighbor to change his answer, he turned back to his shop. For the first time in months, he worked uninterrupted. He repaired the damaged window. He reorganized the fabric shelves. He cleaned the floor thoroughly. By evening, his shop looked stronger, and so did he. That night, Arjun realized something powerful. Saying no did not destroy his relationships, it strengthened his boundaries, and boundaries, he was beginning to understand, are not walls, they are protection. The first week was the hardest. Each time someone called his name from across the street, Arjun felt the old impulse rise inside him. That familiar urge to drop everything, to prove he was reliable, to avoid disappointing anyone. But now, he paused. Sometimes he still helped, but only when his own responsibilities were complete. Other times, he politely declined. And every time he said not today, a small part of him felt stronger. He began waking up earlier to focus on his tailoring shop. He repaired the damaged sewing machine, reorganized customer orders, and created a simple plan to attract more business. He finally completed the fresh coat of paint he had postponed for months. Unexpectedly, something began to change in the neighborhood. At first, a few people seemed annoyed. They were not used to hearing no from Arjun. But slowly, they adapted. Samir started handling minor shop issues himself. Another neighbor hired local help instead of depending on Arjun for free labor. Arjun's life did not change because the world became kinder. It changed because he became clearer about his limits. The lesson is simple: saying no is not rejection, it is self-respect. When you protect